How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. This is going to be a video all about the recently buffed Chano, or Chano, however you want to call it. And I'm British, so I say Chano. It's a little bit more zesty, a little bit more pizzazz, but this is what I normally run with Chano in terms of the arcana and as well as the equipment. Obviously, this can be changed depending on what you play against. We won with a Diadea Clash Lane, and the funny thing behind this one is my teammates. So Hamps, as you can see there, he's normally the support. He got disconnected into the lobby, and then when he rejoined, Bean already chose the Diadea for him, and by the time he rejoined, the game already locked in the Dolia. So we already had two supports, but Bean was just like, you know what? I'm going to play Diadea up to the Clash Lane, going up against the Dune as well. We actually did very, very well, as you're going to see, but we're going to be focusing on, obviously, my gameplay here onto the Chano. So he has recently been buffed. Obviously, it's his enhanced basic attack that has actually been buffed here. So when you're in the brush and you leap out and you do those multiple shots, that's where his new buff has been landed. And you'll see in this game, we are up against the Ali as well. If you're aware of, obviously, matchups and stuff like that, Chano is a great Ali counter. I feel like we do get a kill here first. So obviously, there is the leaping shot. We get the first blood. So already starting on such great momentum, we get the first blood here onto the enemy team, and we're looking to just try to do a little bit more damage here onto the Ali. Ali, level 1, is not going to be as slippery as she is at level 4, so we're just trying to do enough damage here. As you can see, Asmo just trying to get the poke with that first skill, wasn't quite able to, but now, obviously, we've got the minion wave, a little bit more poke towards the enemy turret. We go for the Phoenix, because this is one of the most important objectives you should be looking for as playing into the farm lane. You want to make sure that it's not contested. You want to try and create that pressure into your lane first, so it becomes very easy for you to get that creep and get that extra resources for your team, because now that Phoenix only spawns one time per game. So really, it's detrimental into the early game, but also to kind of try and get a little bit of that gold lead. As you can kind of see here, globally between my team and the enemy team is around about 700, 800 gold. So already kind of putting in the work here in terms of obviously getting the itemization through for myself. I always go for the attack damage first tier item first, and then go for attack speed boots afterwards. But not really contested here. You can kind of see that Butterfly is really just hoping we overextend, but we don't know where Butterfly is. This is one thing you should take into your ranked games as well. If you don't know where the enemy jungle is, don't overextend. Like here. Don't overextend. I clearly overextend. She was very patient. She sat in that brush for quite some time. I thought my knockback shot was going to be enough to get the takedown there, but unfortunately, not quite. Obviously, jungler this time around does actually play a lot better with the Masashi, in terms of obviously Masashi going up against some of these heroes on the enemy team, using the duel to the death, has that healing reduction as well. So as you can see here, straight in onto the top of the Angela. Probably not the greatest target to go on top of because of the Blazing Brilliance there. Obviously, CC immunity thanks to her ultimate means that she kind of doesn't get knocked up. It kind of mitigates that whole impact of his ult. But Butterfly once again comes down to bot side of the map, gets the kill onto my support, unfortunately. So really, we can kind of already seen here that the Butterfly is the core of the enemy team. Masashi did a great job, gets the kill onto the Butterfly. I'm just clearing up my minion wave because I know he's okay. Once that Butterfly's gone, that Liang's not going to be a problem for him. He's only just got to level 4, and I believe his suppression was already used, as you can see there on the side of the screen. The green emblem has disappeared. So I knew he wasn't going to get suppressed. I knew he wasn't going to get that damage taken down. But now we have to take this moment to try and get that gold lead back into our favor. Here is the emergence here from the Liang, trying to get that wave push that I've just created there. But now, rotating to the bot side was the Angela. I called that one out just to make sure. But yeah, guys, if there's one thing you learn about watching these videos, is just kind of like how I play. And what I say sometimes are two different things, but go off what I say rather than what I do, because sometimes I get lost as the source in the game. Sometimes I get a little bit overconfident in game. But what you should really be doing there is when your minion wave's pushed and those turrets are pre-4 minutes, don't keep attacking the turret, because if you don't have intel on the enemy jungle, if you don't have intel on the enemy mid lane, they're more likely going to be rotating down to the bot side of your map, and they will get that gank, especially somebody like the Angela as well, right? Angela has the slow, has the stun. If she lands that combo on you, that really frightful combo, she can just wipe you out, especially something like the Chano. Chano, you look at his health bar. He's not a tanky guy. She uses the Blazing Brilliance. to try and clear out the minion wave. Then I use my pack of wolves to come through. We get the kill onto the Angela, but then Butterfly does try and dive on top of my support whilst I'm just pounding the damage onto the Butterfly just to get her away. With Butterfly being locked in here, you might want to look at trying to go for some kind of like anti-heal as well. I think I do actually go for the Mortal Punisher towards the latter part of my build, just so it kind of helps the conflict with how the Butterfly is, because we can kind of see here, like I said earlier, she's the core of the enemy team. She's doing very well in terms of KDA now that she's just died. Not too well now. She's on 2-2-0. We had a very vocal Dune on the enemy team, and yeah, we've been very vocal back. Not toxic, but just vocal. But if you look at the top side of the map here, they weren't able to actually secure the Azure Golem on the enemy team, which is probably a very good thing here for my team. It does go over to Bean rather than the Masashi here, which Masashi needs that. But now that they're overextended, I'm going for the leaping shot. There it is. Wave breaker on the Dolia is going to get that hit, even though it would have been nice to get that kill for myself. We're already sturdy ahead in terms of the gold. And I think even in lane alone, yeah. So you can see here, I'm 4.3k and the Ali is 2.6. And there we go. Another kill going over to us. So really just punishing these overextended enemy players. We've got the intel. We can see that they're at the turret. We go rotate. We go for the neutral objective. We get the kill as well. I feel like we do get the T1 here also. Another great thing about Chano is using those wolves under the T1, just as you can see that your minion waves charge him through. Just so you can start the pressure and start putting on the pressure on thick, right? Like, try and get that takedown a little bit earlier rather than wait for the Vanguard to come through, which then gives your enemy team time to react to the Vanguard coming through. Don't give them time to react. If that's one thing you should be doing in Honor of Kings, is not letting your enemy team react, especially when you got a lead like this, right? 20k gold to 16.8. You can't let the enemy team react because that will definitely just flitter away if you do that. But as you can see here, Eternity Blade being rushed here into the Shadow Ripper. We're going for, obviously, crit and attack speed. Leaping shot over the wall. Your boy Chano coming through. Just too much damage there for the Duan. We do lose the bot T1 and the mid T1, so it's a little bit of a bit of a whiff here, but we are looking to pick up some more. Butterfly tried to go in for the team fight there. We had the CC from the dart. She's second skill as well. Just means that it was very hard for them to do anything, but this is the problem. We got the kill there into the jungle. Ali was trying to get that push. If Ali on the enemy team actually rotated and helped out Angela, they could have killed the Masashi. They could have continued taking this T2 as well. But I now know that Ali is in my jungle. I saw the Paracel on my thing. I don't want to be going to dive any bushes because, as you can see, my health is pretty much half health. Would have been a bad move for me to do that. Top side of the map, we get the kill onto the Liang. He goes in for the duel to the death. I probably should go and help him at this point, but Masashi now at, what, 802. He is fed. He's like 5.6k to the enemy's jungle's 4.3, so he's got a good solid lead just like I have. I'm 5.8k to the enemy's 3.8k, so 2k gold lead into the farm lane is pretty huge, especially around this point of the game as well. Obviously, as it gets later on and later on, it kind of does flitter off, but it means that you're able to get the automation a little bit quicker. Obviously, you can see that I've built the Cloud Piercer here, the second tier item into the Daybreaker. I probably don't, I don't normally go for Daybreaker straight away unless I'm like smurfing. I'm like, you know what, I've got the resources, I may as well. But Chano here definitely showing that he is a great counter against the Ali. Ali likes to get all up in your face. You can use your leaping shot to kind of get out of there. You can use your passive into the brushes to get an increased movement speed as well. So if you're just trying to rush you, there is ways of getting out. We're currently 3-1-4, so not the biggest KDA, but we got a bigger impact in this game. We got a bigger impact in this game thanks to our gold lead. I do try and use my wolves here. I do get suppressed as well, but getting knocked out of suppression thanks to the Dolia is pretty huge. And the healing pool of the Dolia keeps me alive within that mid lane. As you can see, I'm going to go for another attack speed item there. I believe it's a Sun Chaser I go for. I feel like Sun Chaser is a great item on the Chano as well. Just gives you increased movement speed. Not increased movement speed, but increased attack range, sorry. And when you use that kind of like your pack of wolves, if you're running in with increased speed, you're going to put a lot of pressure on. As you see in here, putting the pressure on already, just over the wall. I'm trying to get the leap shot onto, there we go. The CC, the lockdown, pretty huge. Angela's just devastated. Angela at that point, standing still, just devastated, gives us a free kill. Gives us a free kill. I build my Daybreaker. I'm like, you know what? We're already stacked, guys. Let's build the Daybreaker. But to be honest, you do see here that Butterfly tries her attempt at trying to get such a good push or pressure into the top side of the map, doing a lot of damage onto the Musashi, but now it's a unfair advantage. It's a takedown into the top side of the map. I get the T2 in the mid, looking to pick up some more here. He's like, do I contest it? Do I? He thinks I've just run away. I'm like, nah, B. I'm taking that as your golem. If your jungle is down, I'm going for it. And this is another thing you should be doing if you are proactively ahead in Honor of Kings, is if the enemy jungle's down, checking their camps is great, because obviously not only are you starving them of resources going into the latter part of the game, obviously 10 minutes now, this is where the kind of resource lead starts to fall off as people are starting to get 6-slotted, 5-slotted within my team right now. But the thing that is a great takeaway here is to make sure that the enemy team are down on their Azure Golem, down on their Crimson Golem as well, especially if you're playing a farm lane. It's probably best to go for that Crimson Golem so you can get that enhanced attack damage. Your jungler, being a Musashi, can still go for his Crimson Golem, so you're not really sacrificing their damage output. You're just kind of improving on your own, as well as just diminishing the enemy teams. So it's a great little play to think about. Rather than just be stuck in your lane, keep trying to push or keep going for team fights, keep getting those resources and taking them away from your enemy team. Luckily for the enemy team, I think they do go for the Vanguard here. They are able to drop it down to the bot side of the map, which stops our push here, but we're just a little bit too quick. A little bit too fast with it, boys. Our fingers are too fast. We're bashing that basic attack button. We're getting the kills onto the board. Good thing about the Chano against the Ali as well. As soon as you get that leap-in shot, that vaulting shot onto her, it tracks her down, and she's kind of forced to use a Paracel. Because if she doesn't use a Paracel, she's going to get hit by it, and it's going to do a lot of damage at this point in the game. Especially when I've got the Mortal Punisher. I go for the Sun Chaser as the last item as well. And again, just to reiterate, we have a Diadeer up into the Clash lane, guys, and we're still winning. We have a Diadeer up into the Clash lane. Itemization-wise, he's obviously building the Orgor's ward, going for the Void Staff, as well as obviously a little bit of a hybrid build here. It's not definitely the build you would go for if you're playing the Diadeer regardless, normally. But doing the damage, having that health is definitely going to help with that Orgor's ward and just getting the attributes from that item. But there we go. We get the T3 into the mid, into the bot side, into the top side as well. Looking to pick up some kills here. Enemy team, however, are able to create a bit of a division down to the bot side. So if we're able to survive this, we need to go down to the bot side to clear out. Because again, look, I'm playing with the same team. Nobody's recalling. We have no minion waves. Nobody's going back, including myself, right? Including myself. So I'm getting lost in the sauce here, but I'm keeping myself accountable that it is my actions that lead to my T3s falling here. And this is where it gets a little bit shaky, right? Like, I put in the game, like, lol, I can't believe we're winning with the Diadeer Clash lane. And then our T3 down to the bot side of the map gets taken down because nobody answered, including myself. Those Vanguards. So a little bit of a newbie playstyle here for us as a 5-man, but I don't think... Me, Habs, Bean, and Asmo play together quite frequently, whereas Habibi doesn't play with us. I feel like this is our first time we've actually played with him within this 5Q. And how he plays, he's not very reactive onto sort of like the wave clears. He's always very sort of aggressive, trying to get as much kills as possible. Liang here goes in with the emergence, tries to get the back door, which was really flipping scary. I was like, oh man, we're not going to lose another game with stomping here after I've just teased them that we're winning with a Diadeer up into the Clash lane. But we all recall, and we were able to actually mitigate that big crash into the crystal. But again, we see here, Butterfly loves to be sneaky, loves to try and go into those brushes, doing as well. Looking to try to help into the top side of the map, but I know this, I'm not going to overextend. I do have my pocket healer being here on the Diadeer, can kind of help me if I do get into trouble here, but I'm just trying to pick up as much resources, trying to get that Sun Chaser online before we go in for a team fight. I do use my ultimate here for what reason, whatever, but maybe it was just potentially going for a team fight. Yeah, I thought the enemy team was going to maybe try and dive in there, but they didn't, so it's a good call that I didn't actually commit to that one. Again, Butterfly top side of the map, trying to create that pressure, using the ult to the death. Didn't actually get anywhere onto the Ali, which is a good thing about Ali, is you can just kind of just disappear with a Paracel, but there it is. The damage going through very thick onto the Dune there, gets taken down. We do trade Dune for our jungler, which is troublesome at this point, especially as the Butterfly is pushing that top side of the map. Again, she loves this top side of the map. Absolutely loves it. She just can't do anything but push that top side. But to be honest, to the enemy's efforts, that's how they're going to win, right? That's how they come back, is because we're giving them room, we're giving them a lot of error to make a good play out of, which is exactly what they're doing here. They're punishing us for not going in and trying to take those minions down. But when she's alone, she tries to use the Purist guy, I believe it was, to try and keep herself alive, but she then... was he the Purist guy? No, she didn't have that. I think like it's just maybe her... one of her skills, sorry. But again, I feel like this is all kind of like a knock-on effect because of my Chano just being so good in the early game and just having such a dominant lead over the enemy's Ali. Which is pretty good. I don't know why. I think this was a mistake here, building the Bloodsweeper, because I didn't mean to build it. I'm pretty sure I meant to build the Sun Chaser, but I didn't actually just pre-order the item. I just kept building as the itemizations was coming up. You'll probably see me sell it very soon. Ali's now got her Daybreaker, so I have to be careful, but I am going to push the Liang because nobody else is around. I can see that obviously a lot of people are around my enemy team, and Butterflies just respawned. I knew that Liang was going to be pretty much caught off guard there, so going for that. We were able to get that. The enemy team didn't get the Overlord we did, so that's going to be some great pressure in terms of these lanes and maybe trying to even close out this match because it's looking around about a 15-minute match. This probably should have ended maybe 2-3 minutes ago, but the fact that the enemy team was allowed to get that priority down to the bot side really put a few more minutes extra onto the game timer. Again, you can see the Ali's looking for that push down to the bot side, maintaining that pressure, whilst their team's just trying to do the best at defending their base. Both the Liang and the Dune are down, which is troublesome for them. Ali has to go back, as you can see, with a recall. Luckily for my team, they have learned, but the enemy team have not learned. I'm doing a lot of damage. The Angela goes down. That's a lot of wave clear. We have the Vanguard at the Crystal, and we are able to get the takedown. No matter how much pressure the enemy team put on you at that point, if you are a farm lane, if you have all your itemization, just look to focus when you have someone around you with the Vanguard at the Crystal, and you're going to guarantee that dub. Obviously, we got the MVP there, SS rating. I feel like I would have got the triple S rating if I didn't die that one time in the early game. But to be honest, to die that early in a game and then not die again, I'd say that's pretty impactful within the game. Again, my jungler only died once. And then more importantly, here, look. Diadea Clash Lane, A+ rating as well. Was able to kind of out-finesse the Dune. Out-finesse the Dune, so I wouldn't say particularly play the Diadea to Clash Lane. I have heard rumblings and rumors that it does work, but if you're not confident on this pick and you're not playing in the 5Q, I would not lock it in, guys. That is my directive to you guys, is don't lock in the Diadea Clash Lane if you're playing solo. If you're playing in the 5Q, try and make it work like we did. But that is going to be this video that obviously showed the potential of the Chano now, especially after the buff. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, this format, I feel like I'm going to do a little bit more of this breakdown of my gameplay rather than play. So yeah, TikTok, YouTube, join in, guys. I will be going live, obviously, Monday to Friday. So if you've enjoyed this one, guys, drop a like, a sub in as well, and also comment on what you think of this gameplay, and will you try Diadea in the Clash Lane in a 5Q? Hope you have a great day, guys. Take it easy, and see you on the Gorge.